So, a beloved studio known for their epic single-player action games based on a popular character is now working on a comic book looter shooter beat 'em up revolving around a team within a popular comic book universe. That'll also have free content featuring new playable characters and story missions, all for free, with the hopes of getting players to pay for microtransactions for palette swap skins. Oh god, how does this happen twice? At least Gotham Knights didn't turn out like this. With Suicide Squad killed the Justice League around the corner, or probably already here, depending on when you're watching this. Oops. I would like to see what lessons it can learn from Marvel's Avengers, because oh boy, we got a lot to go through. So before we get started, please leave a like and subscribe. Now, let's get this thing rolling. Let's be honest here. Both games were teased way, and I mean way too early. Avengers being teased in 2017 and only coming out 3 years later, and Suicide Squad being revealed in 2020 during the pandemic with an initial 2022 release date, but then was pushed to 2023, and then 2024. And now here we are. Companies still haven't learned anything, mind you. During both gaps, the superhero genre has had both an uprise and somewhat of a decline, with massive blockbuster titles ranging from team-up adventures to impressive solo outings, and a metric ton of mid-projects in between, which have started leaving a bad taste in everyone's mouth. The point of this is to show how, if revealed or even released under better timing, things would have been a lot better. Similar to how Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite should have been delayed a couple months to be more polished and released around Infinity War hype. Both of them focus on the gems. Come on, Disney, it was right there. Now Michael B. Jordan is sad that he can't play MVC2 on his PS5. It is a bit too late for Rocksteady to go back in time and unreveal the game. I guess they kind of have to release the game within this weird period of superhero fatigue. Well, except for anything relating to Spider-Man.
I need backup!
So, at the time of writing the script, Rocksteady just revealed the Elseworld roadmap. If there's one thing they shouldn't do, is that if they need to release a patch that fixes over 200 problems, the marketing department should not bring this up. One thing I will say is I'm glad to see that Rocksteady ain't using that weird out-of-place sponsorship for their cross-promotional outfits, or locking characters to an exclusive platform, or not having crossplay at launch. Because I mean, if you're a AAA developer getting millions in funding and you're making a multiplayer game, it would be stupid if you didn't have crossplay. Want to repeat that. If you are a AAA developer with millions in funding and you're making a multiplayer game and you don't have crossplay, then you are making a massive mistake. Continuing this trend of comparing the two, the pre-order bonuses for both are classic outfits, and there's also a deluxe edition with additional cosmetics. Except the Suicide Squad ones actually look kinda cool and fun, while the Avengers ones will basically just scream, "Hey, look at us, we spent more money." First thing, right off the bat, Suicide Squad should start off by having some fan favorite skins from movies, comics, TV shows, and other games, not just color palettes. I understand that costs a lot of resources to make new assets, but if you're going to charge $10 to $15 per skin, might as well be stuff that will make money and that are stuff that fans want. WB will make a ton off of all the DCEU Harley skins. Epic Games 100% did. Just a reminder as well, Rocksteady is just the developer. They are not the publisher in charge of these prices and microtransactions. Rocksteady would probably get a say to what they can make and maybe suggest prices for the bundles, but WB will get the final say regardless. This goes for every single AAA studio, by the way. What little I've seen, Suicide Squad will have some visual gear, but most of it seems to be just stats. So yeah, same issue that most people had with Avengers. And I got a feeling that Rocksteady is going to be following a similar mindset with how they'll handle the stats and effects. So probably some different buffs and potential debuffs, along with maybe some elemental effects that could potentially be changed together with other elements. Both games have a very similar initial roadmaps and a very similar release model, as mentioned earlier, with how they will be handling microtransactions. They also have an opportunity to create a solid overarching story, which will continue within each operations, as the Avengers did call it. Similar to that, hopefully the new environments aren't just reskins and repeats of the same mission types. I would like to see some variety, and considering Kill the Justice League is in the title, maybe different hero bosses per season. We got Twink Joker in the first one. How about putting one of those Robins as a boss fight? Maybe some Elseworld version of the Red Hood who's a part of the Justice League? Huh? Have fun with it. One thing Avengers did attempt but rarely ever hit the mark on was cross promo content. They did release a few skins around the same time of a new movie or Disney Plus show, but they spent more time hyping up a nameplate for Hawkeye. Yes, a nameplate. Suicide Squad may not have this full luxury, but at least they could find other ways through comic books, animated films, TV shows, and like I said, Harley Quinn skins and outfits will probably sell the best. Another weird idea? Cross promo with other WB IPs. I would like to see King Shark wearing a Tasmanian Devil themed outfit, or Harley Quinn wearing a Cassie Cage outfit. Oh god. Just saying. WB ain't shy from doing these sort of things anyways. They legit did a whole movie with that in mind. Let's be honest here. Spider-Man should have been a timed exclusive, or maybe just one unique skin in the Avengers game, instead of being an obligation for Crystal Dynamics to follow, and then they get outshined by Fortnite of all games. One thing I'm glad to see is that other than a few trailers showing haptics and devs using the DualSense for testing, I don't think Suicide Squad is going to be getting any characters locked behind a specific platform. Rocksteady, WB, please keep it this way. Now, think about it. I barely spoke about the gameplay. So, Rocksteady seems to be pushing for this competitive mindset of you can outskill your friends and then taunt them by making it a major mechanic in the game. While this is sort of cool, I feel like this won't keep all of those friends playing for too long. One of the most underrated, or more accurately underplayed aspects of Marvel's Avengers was the raids. I'll focus on the claw raids for this conversation, since I actually played through it. The best thing about it is that unlike majority of the game, it forces everyone to cooperate and work together in order to progress, instead of just focusing on a singular objective that everyone can just contribute or no one at all. The raids also had puzzles where you and your teammates had to communicate and speak. I remember speaking with randos in order to complete it, and I'm glad they all had headsets and could speak English. The biggest issue, however, is that you had to have a very high rank for your hero before playing the raid. Let's be honest here. How many of you watching this that have played Marvel's Avengers have actually played this mission? Please let me know in the comments. So basically, Suicide Squad should have some missions like this from the start, if possible. Rockstar is already on the right track by letting players use other players' builds to help them on certain missions, which is nice since not everyone can farm 7 weeks on defeating boss. Marvel's Avengers had a lot of content data mined, but I guess not everything would become a reality, similar to Spider Cop. However, it is the stuff that they did announce but never release which hurt the game. The big one was Patrol Mode. Basically, it would have been a real-time exploration of a map where you fight crime and save people. Think Insomniac Spidey's open world structure on a smaller scale, and I guess ranked similar to how Gotham Knights did it. Rocksteady already announced one season with the Joker and teased another three with potentially three more DC villains along the way. And I mean, please add in Kite Man. Whether or not they live up to that, I don't know. All depends on if they have the initial budget, support, and hopefully no one gets laid off. Along with features that were announced but never came, I just hope Suicide Squad has features like join in progress from the start, not to mention Rocksteady's QA team testing all the builds before launching onto the pipeline. I don't think players and streamers would like it if their IP address would be displayed on this screen for the whole world to see. Basically, listen to feedback and work on that, please. All I hope is that the next time a AAA studio gets a superhero IP and is tasked to make a live service game, they give it a cel-shaded comic book art style. They focus on the characters and gameplay, and also don't stuff it in with microtransaction and potentially grindy nonsense. Ultimate Alliance 3 was close to that, but that game has its own problems I would rather save for another video. Now, if you have made it this far, thank you for sticking around. This was my first time doing one of these, so if you want to show your support, please leave a like and subscribe. Maybe leave a comment to further the conversation, and I guess maybe suggest some other topics we can discuss, or maybe some general feedback. I would really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon and a Buy a Coffee page, so you can show your support there. And I also develop games, so please check them out on my itch.io down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.